The search for an escaped inmate heats up tonight following a possible sighting in Mississippi. What we know right now.
And here's what's coming up in the forecast. We get to enjoy another day of this low humidity, but we do have a warm up in the horizon as well as rain chances as we head into the new week. More in your forecast is coming up.
I'm Frederick Price. Coming up, I'll detail today's Back to School Bash hosted by the Arkansas MLK Commission.
Little Rock schools remove their mask mandate. What this means for students as they head back to class on Monday. We have new information tonight. Mississippi authorities say they found evidence about an escaped Arkansas inmate. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sarah Horbacewicz. Yesterday, Samuel Hartman escaped from the East Arkansas Regional Unit where he was serving a life sentence for rape. He was believed to be on the run in a white 2021 Chevrolet Trail Boss. Last night, a sighting of that same kind of truck led to a raid on a Tunica County trailer by federal and Mississippi law enforcement. The Tunica County Sheriff's Office said they thought the trailer was occupied by the people on your screen there, Misty Hartman and Linda Annette White. They are believed to be traveling with Hartman. Police are looking for the 2021 white Chevrolet in connection with this group. The pickup has 4 doors and black rims and may or may not have Arkansas license plate 398ZVY. Hartman is believed to be armed and dangerous, so police are looking for the public's help in finding new information. And Little Rock police are working closely with the Little Rock School District today after shots were fired near Mablevale Elementary School. LRSD says that no one was hurt, but a shot did hit the building and another hit a nearby car. Students were also not in the building as classes don't start until the 22nd. Authorities are still investigating the incident and are asking that anyone with information on who may have done this to call police. And right now, police in Little Rock are also investigating an overnight hit and run that left one woman dead. Authorities tell us that around 10:30 last night, officers responded to Young Street and Brenda Circle after reports that a car hit a pedestrian. When they arrived, they found a seriously injured black woman lying in the road. She was taken to an area hospital for treatment, but police do report that she died from her injuries. Officers are now investigating a vehicle that they found in the area with damage that could match that accident. And right now, Little Rock police are on the scene of another accident where they saw a car hit a bicycle. This is near Pine Street and West Charles Boosie. If you know any information, you are asked to call authorities as they continue to work on the investigation. We'll continue to provide updates as we learn more. And in national headlines tonight, the release of court documents related to the search of Mar-a-Lago is prompting new questions about what the FBI was looking for and about what former President Trump was storing at the estate. Michael George has the latest from New York.
The FBI seized several items labeled secret and top secret from former President Trump's home in Florida. Court records unsealed Friday indicate that 11 sets of classified documents were recovered. The warrant directed agents to look for evidence that official records had been altered, concealed, or destroyed. Monday's search was part of an ongoing Justice Department investigation into missing White House files. Earlier this year, 15 boxes of documents were returned to the National Archives. CBS News has learned that in June, a lawyer for Mr. Trump signed a declaration stating that all classified materials at Mar-a-Lago had been turned over to the government. In a statement, the former president said the remaining items had been declassified, but would have been provided if requested.
Simply declassifying information does not solve the problem.
CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson says the paper's content is critical.
We still don't know what's in the documents they found, and we would need to know that really to know what happens next in the investigation.
Mr. Trump and his allies have denounced the search as a politically motivated raid carried out by the Justice Department. As online threats against the Bureau rise, the FBI has taken the precaution of erecting a protective fence around the perimeter of its Washington, D.C. headquarters. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
The affidavit that was filed with the request for the search warrant has not been made public, and it's unlikely to be released unless criminal charges are filed in the case.
Now, weather from the First Arkansas Bank and Trust Weather Garden.
Well, we saw quite the beautiful start to the weekend. Plenty of sunshine for our Saturday, and we had a nice refreshing start even as early as this morning. You can notice that the humidity was much lower and the temperatures as well. Matter of fact, many locations dipped into the 60s early this morning. We were at 68 here in Little Rock. Matter of fact, this is the last time that we actually saw the temperature the entire day even dip below 70 degrees was 45 days ago, back in June 24th, where we start our mornings at 64 degrees. This is one of the longest stretches of days seeing temperatures at or above 70 degrees for this long period of time. So I'll have more specifics on that later tonight. We're sitting at 88 right now, comfortable dew points in the low 60s to upper 50s even earlier this afternoon, with winds starting to shift in from the south. They will be staying light tonight. Looking at your hour-by-hour forecast, it's going to be another refreshing and comfortable night, mostly clear with temperatures in the upper 60s. I'll have a full check of your weekend forecast and any changes that may be coming our way in the forecast coming up.
Now, back to school is right around the corner, and school supply events are popping up everywhere. Organizers are hoping that they can give parents relief when it comes to getting these school supplies. THV 11's Frederick Price has more from one event hosted by the Arkansas MLK Commission.
Parents like Dion Bax are gearing up for yet another school year.
I'm ready for them to get back to school.
But before he sends his 3 boys off, he stopped by Saturday's Back to School Bash to get a head start.
It's very important for the kids to not only to get free supplies, but to keep them involved in education.
Dozens of parents and kids walked around to not only collect pencils and paper, but also to chat with vendors.
There's a lot of vendors here, and we're learning new information every time we touch another table.
Deshaun Scarborough says this is the 5th year the Arkansas MLK Commission has hosted its back-to-school supply tour.
Giving kids supplies to go back to school and entertaining them, letting them know that their school year is going to be successful.
Scarborough says it's vital students have everything they need to head back to the classroom.
There are many parents that have food insecurity and also monetary issues. We wanted to step in and do all we could.
This year, Scarborough said they even added a youth Comic-Con to focus on literacy.
But we wanted to find something creative to give back in the show to get kids involved in literacy.
Making Saturday's event more than just a back-to-school bash.
These kids could be anywhere right now doing something regarding crime, but they're not. They're here.
And giving a community the chance to come together.
I love events like this. It gives us a chance to participate.
In Little Rock, Frederick Price, THV 11 News.
And that back-to-school tour doesn't stop in Little Rock. The organization says they'll be making stops in towns across the state to give away thousands of supplies to rural and underserved towns. And over in Jacksonville, kids are preparing to head back to class with a fresh cut and a backpack. Families in the community stopped in to see Sam the barber and his team to get some help with school prep by getting free haircuts and discounted hairstyles, in addition to free backpacks and school supplies, all to kick up what we hope to be a fantastic school year. In a THV 11 update tonight, for the first time since the pandemic, the Little Rock Animal Village is looking for new volunteers. The shelter is even bringing back its monthly training sessions to get staff back up to pre-COVID levels. Betsy Robb says that volunteers do a little bit of everything there, but their biggest job is to just get to know the animals.
You're hanging out in Joey's playroom, named for THV's very own Joey the Garden Cat, and hang out with kittens and socialize with them. You learn a lot about them that can help a potential adopter. You can take dogs out to play yards, help them get some much needed exercise out of their kennels, learn about them.
Rob says what they really need help with right now, though, is taking pictures of animals. Those volunteer training sessions will begin the second Saturday of every month at 11 a.m. You can apply, add your name to a wait list by visiting the Little Rock Animal Village website. That sounds like a pretty great job to me. Well, still ahead, the CDC has softened masking guidelines as children prepare to head back to school. We're going to tell you how one district is responding when we come back. But first, Corrales, how's the weather looking?
It was absolutely fantastic today. Not too hot, and the humidity was on the lower end. We still get to enjoy another day of these conditions, but there is a warm up on the way and a few changes in the forecast that I'll highlight coming up.